Let me give Candace Owens a little newsflash here. Bitch, you don't fucking sit up there on some hill and tell me who ate the cabbage. You don't sit there and tell me what to give you or what to do. You are suspect. Like I said, I got to investigate her now. I got a bad feeling. I didn't have a bad feeling. God gave me a good brain. I already knew. I dropped the ball. I apologize. She's a globalist agent. I'm going to take you on because you work for the deep state and the Democratic Party and the CIA and MI6, and I see your ass. So you just get ready.
I'm going to start a petition to bring back Fat Alex Jones because I want him back. Way more bass, way funnier. Never did stupid stuff like that. Ozempic's frying his brain cells if he's using Ozempic. He needs to get off that immediately. You know, Alex, maybe be a little bit less worried about the chemicals they're spraying in the sky and the water that's turning the frogs gay. Be more concerned about the Ozempic, right, buddy? Alex Jones has lost his mind over the Candace Owens saga. I mean, I don't know if he was really in his right mind when he decided to have a multi-hour-long phone call with Laura Loomer 2 weeks after she got back from meeting with Netanyahu and other Israeli officials in Tel Aviv. But if he didn't lose his mind then, he's definitely lost his mind now. I want to remind you what Alex Jones was saying like 72 hours ago, a little bit longer than that, maybe earlier this week. This is what Alex Jones was saying. At the time, I came out and reported on it, and I said, this seems fake. It seems like BS. It seems very sanctimonious, and it seems like he doesn't really mean what he says in these clips, okay? So we're not going to watch the full things, but you get an idea here of what I'm talking about, and if you watch the clips, you'll remember what I was saying.
Plain thing gets debunked with all the facts. Now she's moved to something else, and I'm really worried about her. I'm worried about her and her mind, and I'm also worried about the country and where this is going. It's good to question Charlie Kirk's assassination. I have. Big questions. We know Cash Patel covered up an investigation into accomplices. I broke that before it hit the mainstream news. So I'm not saying don't question. But her latest source and what she's done, implicating the U.S. military and all this other stuff, is just so damaging. And when you go investigate it, it's so crazy.
It's so damaging to the U.S. military. As if the U.S. military doesn't have enough damaging PR already. Oh my goodness, Candace Owens is going to take down the U.S. military. It's so damaging. I pray for Candace Owens because, calling out the CIA and how they covered up the foreign intelligence investigation into the potential involvement they may or may not have had in the events that took place at Utah Valley University, that's one thing. But implicating the U.S. Army, by the way, she did not say that the U.S. Army is involved. She said, I don't know. I feel that this is like becoming a story that has more and more credibility, but I'm not 100% certain. But for some reason, like everyone came out and said, no, Candace Owens claimed that everything Mitch said was 100% even Mitch doesn't claim it's 100% true. And, implicating the U.S. military. Yeah, the U.S. military, which provided all of the support for a genocide for the last several years. Wow, we really need to, care about our U.S. military elite and what the upper echelon, the military brass at the U.S. because, bombing innocent civilians in Yemen or Gaza, providing the intelligence for the very corrupt state of Ukraine to bomb innocent civilians all across the place, bombing innocent civilians now in the Caribbean. That alone was like not that big of a deal. But, Candace implicating the U.S. military and the Charlie Kirk assassin, that is a step too far. That is really going to hurt. That's very damaging. We need to protect our military brass within the U.S. Armed Forces, right? Because they are just beacons of morality and faith, and they're very good human beings, totally, right? So we had that. Anyways, he basically was saying that, I'm praying for her, right? And I said, that's weird. It kind of sounds like you're saying I'm praying for her and she needs to be locked up in a mental asylum because this is too crazy. Then, of course, we had days later, we were vindicated because Josh Hammer came out and said those exact words and a bit more. She needed to be involuntarily medicated and hospitalized in an asylum. Then we had this.
I am seriously concerned for Candace Owens. What I'm about to reveal, what I'm about to break down, comes from a place of love.
Oh, place of love. Place of love. I'm praying for her. this, that, and the third. But today, what does Alex Jones say?
Can sit up there on some hill. Let me give Candace Owens a little newsflash here. Bitch, you don't fucking sit up there on some hill and tell me who ate the cabbage. You don't sit there and tell me what to give you or what to do. You are suspect. You have the left boosting you, the left loving you, the left promoting you with your royal husband, who we're about to expose. So get ready for that, George. So we figured you out. We got your number, and you can't stand the fact that you've run this big psyop, and now it's coming to an end. This isn't about protecting TPUSA or Trump or anybody. It's about protecting the truth. And it's about us not sitting there dancing to the Pied Piper's lie of what you've done.
You know, psyops, we think of psyops, we think of government psyops, right? We don't think of random journalists doing psyops against the U.S. government, because who the hell cares about the U.S. government? There is not a single bigger propagator of bullshit on a daily basis than the U.S. government and its media apparatchik. Not a single party who is a bigger propagator of disinformation than them. Okay? So let's just say someone lied about the U.S. government. Am I gonna shed crocodile tears over that? Am I gonna feign outrage? No, of course I'm not. But here you have Alex Jones going to bat for the U.S. government, the U.S. Army. What? Who cares about defending the U.S. The U.S. government is backing a genocide. Trump, and this year alone, bombed Iran, bombed Yemen, bombed Venezuelans, bombed citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, of Colombia, of Somalia, of, supported the bombing, obviously, of Gaza, Lebanon, bombed people in Syria, escalating in Taiwan. The covered up the Epstein, covered up 9/11 documents still, covered up JFK documents still, covered up RFK, covered up MLK still. And the American economy is not doing so well. Shocker, right? Who cares about that? Why would anyone defend the U.S. government right now against anything?
Like I said, I got to investigate her now. I got a bad feeling. I didn't have a bad feeling. God gave me a good brain. I already knew. I dropped the ball. I apologize. She's a globalist agent.
Bro, it's so LARP. It's so fake.
I dropped the ball and I failed you, and I'm sorry. I got to follow my gut every time. It's never wrong. And I saw so much more she did. And I love her people threatening me and all their doxing of people and all that. You think that's going to make me go away? All you did was wake me up like a nuclear test site waking up Godzilla. So just get your asses ready. Because you want a war? I want your war. I want it all. I want the doxing. I want the lies. I want the attacks. I'm going to take you on. Because you work for the deep state and the Democratic Party and the CIA and MI6, and I see your ass. So you just get ready.
2 days ago, he was saying, I pray for Candace Owens. I love Candace Owens. I really pray for her so much. Today, we have...
I want the doxing. I want the lies. I want the attacks. I'm going to take you on. Because you work for the deep state and the Democratic Party and the CIA and MI6, and I see your ass. So you just get ready.
The deep state, the Democratic Party, the CIA, MI6. Did I say Democratic Party already? I mean, it's just so fake, bro. Alex Jones out here fraud maxing. It's so fake. Just give it a rest, bro. No one is buying this. Everyone sees this for what it is. I mean, you had a phone call with Laura Loomer right after she got back from Israel, meeting with Netanyahu and his officials. You got propagandized into believing that you might get, I don't know, like something... I don't even know. Maybe you'd get sued again if you sided with Candace. Maybe they'd steal your company. Maybe you got threatened.
Alex ODing on that methane blue.
I don't know. I don't know what he's ODing. I don't think he's ODing on anything. But, I just hope that as Alex, is continuing on his weight loss journey, he remembers not to lose his spine in the process.
This ain't my first rodeo. And I've got to focus. I focus so much on the big players. I don't focus on the little foxes that spoil the grapes. That's about. Go look at this. So I go spend days burrowing into this stuff and find out it's all a lie. And I come out and say, Candace, I think you're being lied to. You're a wonderful person. You've been set up by by Mitch Snow. No, she hadn't been set up by Mitch Snow. No. She knows every damn bit of it's a lie.
Thank you.
Alex trying to keep up with the Joneses.
And then because I have integrity and I don't sit here and make stuff up, I'm now the devil. Oh, Alex Jones is with Lockheed Martin to get me. Lockheed Martin? What do I know about that?
Bro, no one said you're with Lockheed Martin. We said that you had a phone call with Laura Loomer that lasted hours, and then Laura Loomer went out and publicly claimed responsibility for making you see the light of day with regard to the woke right, which are people who are, I guess, traditionally conservative, have conservative values, but oppose Israel, right? I mean, so I guess she means when she says that you've now seen the light and are going to start attacking people that are anti-Israel who are culturally conservative. Because there are not a lot of people who are culturally conservative that oppose Israel within the upper echelons of like media followings online, right? Obviously, the masses, yeah, they oppose Israel, but if you look at most of the right-wing big people out there, especially the ones that are employed by The Blaze, Daily Wire, Fox News, that's kind of the trifecta, and they all basically support Israel. You know, Alex Jones was a lone wolf out here with some of us that was opposing Israel, albeit not as much as me, not as much as Candace, but he still opposed Israel, and then now seemingly he's been wrapped up into this whole thing.
All I know is I'm banned on everything but X and Rumble, and you're boosted on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube to everybody. I remember when I first started waking up to you about 4, 5, 6 months ago, where it was, Kenny was getting confirmed. It was Saturday morning. I was going to do a 7, 8 mile hike up these hills. I go meet this Navy SEAL and his buddy. We all get out of the car at 7 a.m. and we're already all listening to Candace.
Okay, so the only other part of this video I want to show you is this right here.
All of it. And then as soon as they have their alibis, they're on C-SPAN. Oh, well, he was there later. No, he's there at 11 a.m. And your own cult followers don't respond to the facts. You just say, Jones is bullying a woman, and Jones is trying to ostracize her with psychological warfare. No, she puts out lies that I'm forced to go research, and I'm forced to go look at. And then when it's forced to go, trying to ostracize.
So in this video, Alex Jones, it's the same video where he attacks her in this crazed rant, right? He says that this is Rep. Modi, who is allegedly could have been at the Fort Huachuca, right? Because there's a lot of questions about the plane, the transponder being turned off. We covered this. But allegedly, that's Rep. Modi. Now, Candace Owens has said that might be Rep. Modi. That might be Congressman Modi. But it's a very blurry image. We have no clear image of Rep. Modi being there. That is his seat. But we don't have any confirmation that's him. What we do know for a fact is that Rep. Modi, his name was called at that point in time from roll call, and he is not conclusively there. He does not say his name. He does not say, yes, I'm here. People are saying, but you can see someone in his chair at the beginning of the meeting just after 11 a.m. You can't positively identify that person. It's too blurry, and he doesn't speak or vote. Someone sitting in Mr. Modi's seat does not answer for roll call when his name is called, okay? So there were different people sitting in that chair throughout the entirety of the day. There's no way to know from that footage if that was him or not. People are saying there's no way he could have been at Fort Huachuca. Candace has admitted it's possible he wasn't there and someone was sitting in that chair at the time of roll call, but it wasn't maybe Rep. Modi because he didn't say, here during roll call. Alex Jones is sitting here saying, oh, all of her claims are disproven by us, and then they just move on to the next one. Well, that's not true, because you claimed that Brian Harple's flight showed that he wasn't at Fort Huachuca. We've already been through that twice, okay? Brian Harple's flights do not definitively prove where he was at the time of the meeting. It doesn't even show him on the flights. It's just like screenshots of purchased tickets. Okay, and even if you were on those planes and going to those places, very easily still could have been at Fort Huachuca. Alex Jones brought us also the, what was the other one he brought us? I think we covered yesterday. He gave us a I don't even remember what the other one was. But anyways, Amodi as well. It's like the whole thing. Oh, the Erica Kirk thing. That wasn't Alex Jones, but he did repeat that whole weird lie with Erica Kirk and the images that weren't supposed to be published. And then the guy published him, and it actually didn't show that she was, away from the Fort Huachuca area, the hotel nearby. It didn't show that she was not there on September 8th. It showed where she allegedly was on September 9th. But even that, we still have questions about, which we'll be discussing tonight. So I don't know why Alex Jones is going on this weird rant. I don't know. I have my theories. I have my questions. I have all of this stuff. The funniest part of all is that Alex Jones is like claiming that Candace Owens is all these things, CIA, MI6, Deep State, Democratic Party, FBI, because her husband, who there's no evidence whatsoever that he is any of those things either, for the record. But Candace met her husband through Paul Joseph Watson. I don't know if you guys know Paul Joseph Watson, but he's like another right-wing creator. He was much more popular back in like the mid-2010s. But Paul Joseph Watson, also, I think he got banned at the time from like every platform because he was speaking out against Israel and he was called anti-Semitic. But Paul Joseph Watson used to work at InfoWars. So Candace Owens met her husband through an employee of Alex Jones. And you know who else was offered to work for Alex Jones? It's really incredible. There was someone else important that was offered to work for Alex Jones. It was, according to Alex Jones, alleged CIA, MI6, Deep State, Democratic Party, globalist shill, FBI, this, that, and the rest, Candace Owens.
Well, I'm excited. I'm excited about taking you and your crew to dinner tonight. So during the break, before we get the next guest on, I want to thank you for coming on.
Absolutely.
You're going to be on with Owen today. And then go take a rest or whatever. But tell me what kind of food you want tonight. We also got you some good Tex-Mex you wanted. So that's in there in the conference room. But I just really look forward to taking you to dinner. And I hope you can be a contributor with InfoWars. I don't watch a lot of Fox, but I do watch some of Hannity and some of Tucker. But I like the morning show.
Tucker's got the best faces.
Yeah, he does. He does. I wish all those folks would come on and debate me. They won't do it. Maybe if we give you a show or if you're gracious of doing with us, then maybe you can get them on. Maybe it's like less threatening, though. I think you're probably...
I liked fat Alex Jones better. Not going to lie. Because skinny Alex Jones, he just goes out and he does these like super fake rants. Like this one he did against Owen Schroyer, and then he apologized 4 days later.
You think I'm here to be shit on? Do I look like a fucking toilet to you? This is the dark Alex Jones. There's no more filter. It's gone. And anybody fucks with me is going to get the full truth.
Yeah, he apologized for that days later because he goes on this long rant. It's clearly just very fake and forced and stuff. It's kind of cringe to watch. Bring back fat Alex Jones. I like fat Alex Jones more. I'm not even going to lie. It's like that thing when they say comedians aren't funny when they lose the weight. I'm going to start a petition to bring back fat Alex Jones because I want him back. Way more bass, way funnier. Never did stupid stuff like that. Bring him back. Bring him back. We don't want the, what's the thing they inject into themselves and it makes you lose the weight? Although he religiously claims that he doesn't use that. So maybe he doesn't. I see lots of videos of him working out. Maybe he's just working out. Ozempic's frying his brain cells if he's using Ozempic. He needs to get off that immediately. Ozempic is like some deep state drug, maybe, if that's what he's taking. I don't know if he's taking Ozempic, but if he's taking Ozempic, it's like, Alex, maybe be a little bit less worried about the chemicals they're spraying in the sky and the water that's turning the frogs gay. Be more concerned about the Ozempic, right, buddy? Before you leave, I want to say thank you for the support, because after 2 years of being banned, we are finally back home on YouTube. So be sure to subscribe to our channel and also join as a member on our channel using the link at the top of the description. I rely on the generous support of viewers like yourself to get the truth out to as many people as possible. You can also support the show on Locals or Give Sin Go. The mainstream media and the powers that be are never going to stop attacking us for bringing the truth to as many people as we do. Thank you so much for your support.